going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I put together a video discussing how I'm just kind of disappointed at how painfully mid, all of these Call of Duty games are kind of turning out to be. Again, the yearly cycle is really destroying this franchise, in my personal opinion. It's just depressing to see because there's not enough time in between these titles to make them unique and interesting and make them say, oh, it's not like OG COD, where, COD 4 and World at War, and then a massive upgrade to, like, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1. You know what I'm saying? And then the next upgrade to Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3, those two games. You know what I'm saying? It's not like big jumps anymore, big leaps. It's just, tiny things messed around with and cutting out core features to reintroduce them to bring up hype. But in that video, I mentioned that one of the main selling points of the game was the Omni movement. And actually, I am kind of wrong because there's another selling point now, and it's within the custom class system. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting Specialist back in Black Ops 6, but not in the way that you are thinking of, like Modern Warfare 3 Specialist. It's going to be a bit of a twist, as you can see right here from Charlie Intel. Black Ops 6 perk Specialist leaked. Enforcer, red, killing enemies grants a temporary buff to movement, speed, and health regenerate. Recon, blue, enemies can be seen through walls for a short time after respawn. A HUD edge indicator flashes when an enemy is outside your view. Leave no death skulls when killing enemies. And then the final one, strategist, green, earn a score bonus for objectives and destroying enemy content through walls a short distance. Deploy equipment and field upgrades faster. So, as you can see here, we are going to be having a bit of a specialist system going on. And for anybody that doesn't really understand, each perk category, you could choose between, red, blue, or green. So in perk 1, you'll have literally all the colors. Perk 2, you'll have all the colors. And perk 3, you'll have all the colors. So instead of, like in a previous COD game, let's say, perk red is the perk 1 slot, and you go to perk 1 and it's all red, right? And you pick between that. No. You have to kind of mix match these different perks to form a class that you personally enjoy. But if you decide not to mix match and you hyper focus all the perks, perk 1, perk 2, perk 3, all red or all blue or all green, then you will obtain a specialist bonus like the ones that I listed to you guys not too long ago. Now I will agree, this does sound pretty interesting. I'm intrigued and I want to see how this is going to go ahead when it comes to, class balancing. But personally, again, if this right here, alongside the Omni movement, are the two biggest selling points for new features being introduced into this game, it just further proves how painfully mid Call of Duty has become nowadays. And it's all because of the yearly cycle. These developers don't have any time in between these games to actually make anything unique or interesting. And it doesn't matter how many years of development they have. Again, Treyarch had 4 years to develop this, but that doesn't change the point that games are released every year still. Every single year. This is the biggest innovation, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, everything else that's being talked about are things that are being brought back from previous COD games to try to bring back that hype. Again, this looks phenomenal on paper. But I'm going to say this now, I highly doubt it's going to, encourage anybody to do anything else that's not meta within this game. And I'm sorry to say, but that goes for pretty much almost every COD player I know picks up a set amount of perks and sits on them. And that's it. That is it. And I'll be real with you guys, this is it's really a dumbed down version of a specialist bonus. And although it does sound interesting, it's almost like they're trying to make you pick a specialist operator without actually having specialists or, heroes in the game, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the Enforcer ability, gives you killing enemy, grants a, temporary buff to movement, speed, health, regen, all that stuff, so it makes you a bit quicker. The recon ability allows you to have recon stuff, like seeing enemies when, you spawn in, and having HUD, edge indicators, which is, pretty much, it's all perks that we've had in the game already, clearly, but these perks are obviously driven to fit a class, a role. And then the final one, the strategist, green, earning score bonus for objectives and destroying enemy content through walls a short distance, deploying equipment and field upgrades faster. It just sounds like you get more, XP towards your streaks and stuff like that. It just sounds like all of them are branched off to make it feel like specialists. But in reality, again, will anybody care enough to actually do so? And to me personally, it just ruins the overall vibes of a specialist bonus, because to me personally, when I think of a specialist bonus, I think of being just an overpowered super soldier. I don't think of, getting a specialist bonus and turning it into an operator that specializes in a specific, section of gameplay. I don't know. Some might enjoy that, but for me personally, when I think of a specialist bonus, which I've been waiting for ages to return again, man, it's absolutely mind-boggling that it's so hard. I mean, they added it into Modern Warfare 2019, but it took over half of the life cycle to get it in. It wasn't there at launch, and, you know, everybody else just completely ignores it. But it's one of my favorite things about Call of Duty, becoming a super soldier and being able to do everything in the match. And they just will not bring it back. And the form that they want to bring it back in is to try to make sure the class system is shooken up a little bit. And like I said, I don't think it's going to shake up the class system. I personally think the developers have sacrificed an extremely fun, you know, streak method to try to shake up a system that it just can't be shook, because again, it's Call of Duty. We have to be real here. It's God. At the end of the day, people are going to find what they're comfortable with, and they're not going to end up rotating around. It might be kind of interesting in the competitive league. Maybe that would be nice, but for casual play, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, I know everybody's going to call me out and say I'm lying, but I'm serious. You know, this is how it is every single year. Every time they try to add a new gimmick, anything fresh into COD, it always boils down to the same Call of Duty experience. It might last for a month, it might last for a little bit, and people will talk about it for a bit, but it will always boil down to what is the most efficient thing to use in the game. What's going to either keep me off the radar, keep me silent, give me an advantage. And whatever that is, that's what people are going to go towards. And if there's more of an advantage to not use, you know, all red or all blue or all green to get those specialist, you know, bonuses, then people aren't going to do it. It's no reason. Or if one of these specialist bonuses are, you know, extremely OP and they're really good, then everybody's going to gravitate towards those and ignore the rest of the variety within the, you know, the perk catalog. I personally think that this should have been separated. I really do. I really feel like they should have just had a normal perk system where you can pick your perks and, you know, then, of course, have the specialist bonus introduced. But they can't do that, right? They have to try to find something, because again, Call of Duty releases every single year. They have to twist something around, because if they don't, the game is going to be, quote-unquote, the same and boring. But that's the problem with a yearly cycle. You know, that is literally the problem with it. But the whole purpose of this video is not for me to go ahead and discuss whether I think, you know, the specialist bonus is good or if the old one is better, so on and so forth. No, the whole purpose of this video is to discuss that the Omni movement, and alongside this new perk system, are the two biggest factors of you purchasing Black Ops 6. Everything else is the same. Nothing else is going to change. Everything else is from previous COD games. The only thing new from any of the previous games up to current date is this new perk system along with Omni movement. And again, I know I'm talking my smack, but who knows? Maybe the new perk system will be good. Because, for example, I'm pretty positive Assassin, which is basically going to keep you off the minimap, you know, Ninja, to make you have dead silence, Tac Mask, and also Flak Jacket, you know, Tac Mask being to, you know, have immunity to flash grenades, and Flak Jacket being, you know, immunity to regular grenades. All of those, I'm pretty positive, are in the same section. Not same color catalog, but, you know, you're going to have to look up the leaks for yourself. Basically, at the end of the day, you can't pick all of them. Where in previous games, you know, I'll probably pick Assassin, you know, Tac Mask, or, you know, Flakjack or something like that. And who knows what the wild cards will be. Maybe with a wild card, you can go ahead and, you know, mix around a couple of these perks in the same category. But the point being made here is that this isn't going to add the variety that people are expecting. And I think it's a pretty rough, you know, thing to be considered one of the main selling points of Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. Because, again, it's not going to create the variety that people are expecting. I hope it does, and I want them to prove me wrong, but, you know, there's not a single COD game that has ever been made, even Black Ops 2, where everybody preaches about the Pick 10 system and how good it was for variety. People ran the same stuff in that game, too. Once the Call of Duty community gets set into anything, and they know what's good, they know what's comfortable, that's it. You know, it doesn't matter how in-depth your system is, it doesn't matter how cool or creative it is, and how many combinations you can form. People will find what's comfortable, and they will stick with it, you know? So, again, it's rough to consider that this and the Omni movement are the two only selling factors to really make you open up your pockets and say, yes, this is a brand new experience, I can't wait to hop in. And I know I keep saying it time and time again, but this is due to the yearly cycle, and I'm going to preach that until the day I freaking flop over and die, or until this franchise dies. I will always stand on this hill that this game needs longer than a yearly cycle. I mean, shoot, you can even go to my Twitter account. It's one of my pinned tweets that's been there for like a year or two. It's like, I'm telling you, that's my main thing. And I will always die on that hill. I really do believe that if this game could last longer than 2 years, some of these changes would actually be useful. And then when it comes time for a new development team to put out their Call of Duty game, they won't have to worry about any innovative features being, irrelevant, because there's not a game dropping every single year. The game is going to last 2 to 3 years, which gives them more than enough time to bring some really cool things that could be fresh, innovative. Like I said, they can add a lot of creativity to the game, and it will last. And they'll have time to polish it and time to, get it fixed up. Like, for example, with this system right here, they might spend half the year trying to get this, system fixed up and make it balanced and make it to a point where everybody does want to mess around with everything. But then by the time we hit a half a year, it's time for the next COD game, so it becomes irrelevant. You get what I'm saying here? Same thing with Modern Warfare 3. I really enjoyed Modern Warfare 3 this time around. I think it's one of the best games in the past 5 years. But it sucks because so many things did take a little bit of time to enter into the game, and now the game is practically irrelevant. It's like we're moving on to Black Ops 6 now. And like I said, the same thing is going to happen to Black Ops 6. I just wish this cycle could come to an end. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think about this new feature down in the comment section. Do you think it's a cool idea to, kind of incorporate the specialist bonus into the perks, I guess you could say? Again, I don't think it's like horrible. But I find it a little lacking if this, along with Omni Movement, are the only two massive innovations towards a new Call of Duty title. I just find it rough to think that this is extraordinarily impressive. Is it going to be potentially cool and unique? Yeah, but it's nothing groundbreaking like the rest of the community is making out to be, like it's the next best thing. I don't know. If you guys think it is, though, let me know down in the comment section. Convince me otherwise, please, because, hearing some different opinions might make me think otherwise. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here to 8 and 1 Eastern Time. And, of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I will be live today over on Twitch between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But, as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.